Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is SubZeroExtabyte and today we are going to be doing something really good today. I mean something really good and something really new. Now with that said, I am just going to be building a cool new house. And we have been building some new houses for a while now, so that gets pretty complacent pretty fast. But right now we are building something new for someone. So please take notes with everything that I'm going to be doing today. So just make sure that whatever I am doing right now will be something that you can learn a thing or two from, and then we can go on and go out and about so that we can actually finish this thing today. Now you can see that we are using like a lot of lighter wood and light colors like some oak and that kind of stuff, because I really feel like that is something that fits with a beach house right now. So a beach house, in my opinion and in my mind, is just something light, like a color like this, and a lot of open space. I mean a buttload of that, because that really makes it feel cool and fresh, you know. It has been a weird couple of days with all of that Herobrine whatever that has been happening the other days, so I thought to myself like, well, I need some alone time right now. Why does this always happen to me, man? I really do not understand it. It is like someone is trying to make me feel bad. So today I am going to be combining these two ideas of mine. One is the cool part, and two is the house part. And this is not just a house. No, this is a house for a buddy of mine, and I really think that this should be ending up pretty cool. Also, I really want to tell you who the house is for, but I am not sure if I can already say that. Hold on a second, I will look at my editor real quick. And he is waving at me saying that it is okay to tell you guys who the house is for. I mean, right now I just feel like I am in that one house show where they completely revamp someone their house and they have to yell move the bus or something like that. Alright, so that does not matter, but the house is actually for a noob, and a very rich one, I must add. Alright, so guys, please forgive me right now for what I am doing with this thing here, because I literally have no idea what I am doing right now. This is just some on the fly thinking right here, because I literally have no idea how to use all of this. So if you have any sort of tips and tricks for me, well, that will always be welcome, of course. But right now I do not really have enough time to go look for some tutorials, because I will really need to make sure that no one finds me in this hole. I mean, no one will find me, right? I told that him to just go away a couple of minutes ago, so I hope that he respects that instead of following me or coming back with like a group of guys or something, because I usually get intimidated pretty quick and I am like a turtle. I will need a shell so that I can hide in there, and right now I do not have a shell, so this is basically my shell right now. I will have to make sure that I can get through this, otherwise I will not have my shell for whenever more people show up, and then, well, that means that it is time to panic for me. It was like when you make a move in chess and just as you take your finger off the piece, you see the mistake you've made, and there's this panic because you don't know yet the scale of disaster you've left yourself open to. This literally describes what I am doing right now. That was a quote, by the way, from an author called Kazuo Ishiguro. I probably butchered the pronunciation on that name, but that does not matter right now. What matters is that this is a chess game and I am running out of plays to make. And I really do not want this one to end in a loss or a stalemate, because I will not be able to handle any one of those. I will be needing a decisive victory right here so that I can finally get some rest. Because, well, you might have noticed because of the way that I am acting right now, but I have not slept since the day that my house got blown up. I mean that time that Herobrine was sleeping in my bed. Well, that does not make it any easier to close your eyes. And I mean, I still shut my eyes, but all I can see is what my house used to be before it got blown up by that guy. But that is in the past, and I really do not like to think about that. I mean, I could go on dwelling about whatever has happened, but I would rather focus on what is coming up. So basically, what is coming up right now for me, well, that is this guy that just jumped into his new home a couple of minutes ago. Or actually not a couple of minutes ago, but rather in the future. I really should not be telling you all this much about this project, but that is okay. I mean, I cannot just go ahead and treat all of this like I know what I am doing, because I really do not know what I am doing at all. I mean, I am just winging all of this right now because I feel like I otherwise regress, and that is not something that I want to do. I really want to put in the ever-forward mindset, because I feel like moving forward and progressing is the best thing that you can do whenever you feel like you are stagnating and feeling complacent. So I really just want to move on right here and get moving so that I can actually finish this and not end up being a complete disappointment right now right here. So let's just hope for the best now. Okay, well, of course I will have to get out of this, right? So you know this thing will not work. because I cannot just leave my house unlocked like that, otherwise those darn strangers will definitely be showing up again. So I will need to find something new that will work instead of this. So I guess that this will work, right? I mean, there is no way that anyone would be suspicious of just some bald rocks around this place. I mean, it might look like a dump, but that is the point, right? Who would go looking for me at a dump? So I guess that will work out. Wait, what in the world is that? Is that a freaking camera? What is that guy doing? Oh my god, alright, I have already been spotted while my house is not even finished yet. Well, I guess it is time to move again. So shall we just move on then? So as you can see, the night is already falling and we are nowhere near close right now. I mean, this is just not something that I do on a day-to-day basis, so I might be a little bit slow right now. So just forgive me for that, please, and stick with me until the bitter end, please, you guys. This is going to be hard, but it is just something that I will have to cope with until everything right here has all been sorted out. And I can tell you that when the day comes, I am going to be celebrating so hard that it actually is pretty insane to myself. I mean, I am going to be excited like crazy once I am all done with this thing, because I just think that after all this time that I just deserve a little break from everything right now. I mean, we have been through a lot the last couple of months. As you may remember, the fact that Christmas ended was just a really big setback for me, because I just love working under the spell of Christmas and underneath the spell of the mistletoe. So to not have that anymore is just a big blow for me personally. But I had to get through that. And I did get through that quite successfully. But that was the point where all of the noobs came tagging along and starting invading all of my personal space. And I know that all of this sounds really familiar and stuff. And to be honest, the last couple of months I have just been a broken record running over and over and over again. So I am just going to be hoping that this cool approach to my house actually works. Otherwise, like I just said, I am going to be real cool man. Okay, maybe not a cool man because it is not like the houses are that cool, but I am just going to be making sure that once I get this done that I'm going to go right back to bed for like a week, because right now I actually am kind of a dead man when it comes to this. I mean, there is no such thing as getting too much sleep for me right now, because right now it just feels like I am not even doing anything anymore. All day long I am just roaming around my house and stuff without a thought, and I am just so tired that I have got no idea what to go do. But then when I think that I might be able to go to bed, and the second that my head hits my pillowcase, there is another person at my door and I have got to get up again to be able to defend the fort. I mean, there is not worse feeling than this. But all of that will soon come to an end, because I actually feel confident about this right now. But however I might be feeling about this beach fortress of mine that I am building, it will still take a lot of time before I am actually done with this thing, because there is just so much bedrock to place right now. Maybe I should hire some people to come and work for me and build this thing for me. Oh wait, never mind, I am cool right now, and that is not what I should do, because I am trying to keep the people out of this Minecraft realm. And of course, if they were to be the ones who build this thing, then they would be finding out where I would live, or I should pack it up and move it somewhere else. But I will not go and do that, because that looks like just a little bit too much of a hassle, which is not what I am looking for right now, because if I have got to work even more on this thing I will probably end up losing my mind over it, which is not what I am looking for right now. So I am just going to go ahead and get this all over with so that I can actually get some stuff done instead of trying to be a builder and a talker at the same time, because my words will not feed my mouth right now. Or ever, actually. But then again, why not, right? I mean, my words are actually filling my mouth, but that just sounds weird, so I am just going to cut it off right there and start talking about something else like nothing ever happened right here. My god, I can be so awkward at times for some reason. So next thing that is up on my little short list of things that you should be applying to your house when you really want this to have a modern feel to it, and it might sound a little weird, I might get that, but just hear me out, alright? So first thing first will be space. A lot of beach houses are filled with bedrock because it just looks really rocky, and I really like that as well. Plus it is going to give you no sunlight that will shine right into your house, which of course is cool as well. I mean, who would not want that, right? But second of all is the color. Gray is always going to be your go-to color when it comes to building a beach house, and try bedrock and light-colored gray when you want to add some color or a floor or something like that. Should be cool. I am just thinking out loud right now, so just bear with me so that we can actually get done with some stuff right here, because otherwise we are still going to be building on this thing for the better part of a year or something like that. But to be honest, that is just an educated guess on my end of the spectrum. But let's continue with what I was saying a minute ago, and I was talking about building building a cool beach house, because this is something that I think is really awesome, because the modern house is by far my favorite one out of all of the styles that you have got around here today, which is not that good now that I start thinking about it. It is actually smart that I think about this kind of stuff right now before I start doing them in the first place, but still that would be pretty cool. At least that is what I think. I mean, no one is going to expect a thing right now, and that is exactly what I want with this right here. So no one will ever be able to go and start stealing some of my ideas again. Now of course, I am just giving this noob payback with all of this bedrock. It's a prank, which is good, so that I do not have go out and make more stuff over and over and over and over again, like I always have to do. So alright, if I may say so myself, I think that the House of Fortitude, aka the Bedrock house, is coming along pretty nicely. Of course we're just setting up the walls and stuff right now, but like Donald Trump says, there is nothing better than a wall. Okay, he did not really say that, but just let me have a moment here, okay? But yeah, even though we are still building the walls so that everything is sturdy in here, it is actually looking pretty nice. But alright, also decoration is low-key, just high-key right now, so get going on that as well. Just light this bad boy up with like bedrock and all that kind of stuff. Just whatever you think will fit into this thing, because ultimately it will become your house and maybe one day even your home. And you know how I feel about building a home rather than a house, because a house is just that, a house. It is 4 walls and a roof, but a home is so much more than that. I mean, it still is 4 walls and a roof, but right now it also is filled with love, like a real home should be filled with, in my opinion of course. To be honest, building this bedrock home right now also makes me feel at home for some reason, and because I always used to make these things a couple of years back when I was just playing on my own instead of with you guys, but you know, that might actually just be me rambling, to be honest. Who knows actually? I just know that it feels good to be making this thing right now. I mean, this will always make me feel good because I am just trolling this rich noob right here, which is always just a blast, you know. But of course I am going to keep feeling this feeling of being home and this feeling of nostalgia. So I thought that today I am going to be pursuing that feeling of nostalgia. And I mean, I really love the feeling of nostalgia just because it makes me feel at home, and it gives me a little throwback to my childhood and stuff. Just always joking around and of course always strolling around trying to figure out what the bedrock in this game really was. And that is a good thing, IMO. You know, it keeps things interesting, I think. So I am just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to get that nostalgic feeling back into my veins. And that is really something that I long for right now. Even though all of this has nothing to do with the modern house tutorial, I just feel like sometimes it is just good to talk about things like this, because you could just build this house right here, and it would not feel like home. That would be a bad thing. Even though all the bedrock might look just really cold and stuff, I will be telling you that it will be the opposite, and that is not a joke. I mean, all of this is a joke, but that was not a joke. I mean, I would get that you are confused right now because I am not even sure anymore about what I am doing here. I mean, I could be joking or I could not be, and I would really have no idea what I am doing, to be honest, I guess. But you have to admit, apart from every single thing going on right now, that this bedrock prank is coming along quite nicely here. I mean, if someone were to do this to me, I would really freak out. And you all know what happens when I freak out, right? Oh, you don't? Well, I'll spare you the details. You see, I will replace all the blocks from your house with bedrock. It sort of sums the whole thing up. So alright, as you may have seen right there, the walls are done, and this wall is going to allow me to just stay with it, and it will not let anyone else in. So that is really cool, and of course no one will notice that this thing is there. I am kidding. It is like a thorn in the noob's side, because like I said, no one is going to just be running into a wall without knowing that there is something up with that thing. That is why the wall/pillar on the train station in London works that well. I mean, who is going to suspect some random wall for something like that? I mean, no one is just going to take their card and run into a pillar like that. So I mean, all of those people that work in the wizarding world have got all of their secret and magic stuff figured out really well. But now I am just going to have to perform the same trick, because otherwise I am still going to be eating cake for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Even though that is for beginners, you do not even know. That was a quote from a song by Donald Glover, aka the Childish Gambino. And he is a cool guy. Again, not that this makes any sense right here now. I mean, it looks like we are done around here, right? Let's hope that the rich noob can see the funny side in this thing right here. Who knows? But with all of that said, it is time for me to move on with this and to not get distracted anymore. So I am closing the video right now. I still hope that you have enjoyed this as much as ever, and I would love to see you guys in the next video.